Another thing we wanted to bring to you today, since we've been covering some of what's going on at the World Cup, is we now have had two separate journalists collapse, very, kind of out of nowhere, within 48 hours. So one of them you all may already be familiar with is a man named Grant Wahl. Let's go ahead and put this first piece up on the screen. So this was his, I think, final Substack post or close to it. He's a well-known journalist, in particular in the soccer world. He also was very well known for his writing about college basketball. He says, free to read what happened when Qatar World Cup security detained me for 25 minutes for wearing a T-shirt supporting LGBTQ rights, forcibly took my phone and angrily demanded that I remove my T-shirt to enter the stadium. I refused. So sorry, this is in the last Substack post. We covered this where he was detained for wearing this rainbow T-shirt because obviously in Qatar, being gay or expressing support for gay rights is not allowed. They've, haven't let the soccer players express anything like this. So they detained this journalist. This got national media attention. We covered it here as well. An extraordinary action. And, his family really believes that this was ultimately foul play. His brother, who is gay, who he says is the reason why Grant was ultimately wearing this shirt, he believes that Grant was killed. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
My name is Eric Wahl. I live in Seattle, Washington. I am Grant Wahl's brother. I am gay. I am the reason he wore the rainbow shirt to the World Cup. My brother was healthy. He told me he received death threats. I do not believe my brother just died. I believe he was killed. And I just beg for any help.
Horrible. So he says he didn't just die. He believes he was killed. In addition to wearing the rainbow shirt, this is a journalist who was fearlessly critical of the Qatari government and also in particular their treatment of migrant workers. Go ahead and put this last piece up on the screen. This is one of the final Substack posts here. Let me read a little bit of the beginning. He says the Supreme Committee in charge of Qatar's World Cup does not care that a Filipino migrant worker died at Saudi Arabia's training resort during the group stage. He suffered a fatal blow to the head during a fall in a forklift accident. Information that was kept under wraps until being broken by the Athletic's Adam Crafton. And he goes on to be, just very critical of the Qataris and their treatment of migrant workers. And this isn't the first post in this regard. So no doubt that they were unhappy with what he was saying here. We have no evidence other than that sort of circumstantial evidence of foul play. I do also want to say that he was on a podcast that week and said that he had been sick. He'd had bronchitis, some sort of respiratory ailment. So could it have been, complications from that? Ultimately, we don't know. But then the update this morning is that a Qatari journalist, actually, Qatari photojournalist named Khalid Al-Mislam, he also died. We know very little about the circumstances surrounding his death. But, now you have two journalists within 48 hours who just dropped dead out of nowhere at the Qatari World Cup, and a lot of people with a lot of questions.
Yeah, with Grant, he said, I have 3 weeks of little sleep, high stress, lots of work can do that to you. It's been a cold over the last 10 days, turned into something more severe. I could feel my upper chest take on a new level of pressure and discomfort. I went to the medical clinic at the main media center, and they said I probably have bronchitis. They gave me a course of antibiotics. So look, I don't know. I mean, he was sick. His brother has since now said, I can now update that Grant did go to the hospital in an ambulance. Colleagues followed him in an Uber. There was no available AED on site, though it sounds as though it may not have made a difference. If my understanding of the medical situation is correct, his body will come home tomorrow. There will be a proper autopsy here in the United States. The family will then release a statement after that. Regardless of the outcome, I have nothing to apologize for. Thoroughly corrupt people and organizations remain thoroughly corrupt. Organizations must always be held to scrutiny and account. This World Cup never should have taken place where it did. So that is where Grant is, or that's where Eric is right now. As to whether he stands by his accusation of foul play or not, kind of up in the air, seems to accept some level of medical situation, but we don't know. And then when you couple it also with the second one, Yeah, it's very strange about what's happening there. Although apparently there is a COVID outbreak in Doha. That's what a lot of people have been talking about online as well. Just obviously gathering people from
Yeah.
across the world. Not a surprise.
Could be.
There's nothing
Who
you can do about
knows?
that.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But
Scary stuff.
Very scary. Hearts go out, obviously, to the families of these two men with these sudden losses. And, it just raised a lot of eyebrows when you had someone who was so prominent
Yep.
as a dissident journalist ultimately meeting such an untimely end.
Yeah. Waiting for that autopsy. I think that will answer all the questions that we have.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.